Hello, my name is Jason Johnson, amateur radio operator, Kilo 3 Juliet, Sierra Juliet, and I'm here with another video from RAC Wednesday. In this video, we're going to walk through the process of submitting your Superstation log for credit for the recent contest that we ran as a public beta, which is part of our initial release of Superstation. We released the game on November the 17th, and we ran a contest from November the 17th through December the 1st. And here's the process that you can use to submit your log to us. It's critically important that you follow these steps exactly as in the instructions. You need to follow them in order and don't proceed until you've completed the particular step. And the reason being is part of this will reset your Superstation at the end, and you need to make sure that you submit the log file and the log file is correct before you reset your Superstation. So please watch the video, and if you have some questions, review them a couple times before you proceed with submitting the log file. All right, the first step is that you need to verify the start and end date in the setup menu. You do this by selecting File Setup menu, and you select the start and end date for the contest. And in this particular case, it would be 11/17/2025 through 12/1/2025. Once you've entered that, click Save Settings, then the OK button for the dialog box that pops up. The second step is you'll generate the Calibrio file. When you do this, you will need to type the name of the contest in the dialog box. You will also need to include your email address. It's critically important that you type these two bits of information because we're going to need this to process your log. The other information you can fill out is optional, and if you would like to do that, go ahead. Once you've completed the dialog box entry of your information, click the generate.cbr log Calibrio file. The next step is extremely important as well. You need to name the log file with your call sign only. I repeat, only name your log file with your call sign. If it doesn't match this, we're not going to be able to process your log. So please follow this step. In order to make sure you save a copy of that and you don't accidentally overwrite it, we would ask and we'd highly recommend that you have a separate folder for every log file for the contest that you make. And you can do this by creating a folder and a directory for the contest in question. And then save the log file, again, as call sign. That's all we need with it, and that's all we're going to accept, callsign.cbr. Once you've saved the file, take a text editor of your choice, whatever you like, and open up that file and verify that the QSOs are present between the dates of the contest and verify that you have a score on the log file. And again, stressing it's important to follow the exact instructions that we provide. The third step is you need to email us the log file. Opening your webmail or your email client, you can compose an email message and send to varacwednesday@gmail.com. Attach the log file to the message, and I'm going to highlight again, this has to be callsign.cbr. We don't want any dates, we don't want spaces, we don't want underscores, we don't want dashes. It has to be exactly callsign.cbr. You can compose a message and send us a little bit if you'd like. And then once you've composed your message, please click the send button. Give it a couple minutes to make sure that the mail does not bounce and that it was delivered to us. And then once you're satisfied the mail has been delivered and it hasn't bounced, you can go to the next step. And the last step in the process is resetting your Superstation back so we can start the next contest. And you do this by changing the start and end date to the next contest period. We're going to be announcing the next contest shortly, but for now, go ahead and pick the 1st of December as your start date and the 31st of December as your end date. And we'll address that and change it if needed for the next contest period. Once you've set the date, start and end, go ahead and reset the game. And that should reset your station score back to 0, a clean slate. and you'll be ready for the next contest period. So I have some pictures to kind of demonstrate how to do this, and then I'm going to show you the pictures, and then we're going to actually go through a demonstration. So this is step one. Under Superstation File Menu Setup, it'll open a dialog box. The first thing you do is you verify the start and end date. So for this particular contest I'm talking about, that was from 11/17 through December the 1st. Once you verify those are the dates, click Save Settings. And I will point out, if your date says something different, you need to change the date to match this exactly. Otherwise, your log will not be scored properly. Click the Save Settings button. A dialog box will pop up saying that you've changed the start and end date, respawning Superstation threads. Once you get this message, click OK. Now for step two, go into the File Write Log option, and you're given a dialog box. Change the name of the contest to Public Beta Contest, and put your email address in the email box. You can fill out the other information as you see fit with your address and city, postal code, whatever. Do not change any of the information that's already filled out. Click the generate.cbr log calibrator button and name the file. And again, I want to stress this, is critically important. Just use your call sign. Callsign.cbr should be the name of the file, and save it into its own directory, so that way you can keep separate logs for every contest that you enter. All right, let's go ahead and go to a demonstration of how you would do this. All right, so you'll notice on Superstation I have a score, 192 points for my station score, 6 contacts, and there's my max distance, and then here's my total score. So first I have to go into the File Setup menu, and I verify the dates are between the 17th of November. So we'll go ahead and change that to the 17th of November through the end date of 12/1. And I'll click the Save Settings button, and Superstation says it's restarting the threads. The next step is I need to write the log to a file. And you'll notice that there are 8 QSOs in the particular log. However, 2 of them were human to machine, which we're not going to count for the contest period. So I need to change this to Superstation. I'll call it Public Beta Contest. And I'll put my email address. I'll go ahead and leave all the rest of these optional. I'll fill them out now. And I'll click the generate.cbr log file. All right, so what I want to do is I want to create a folder on my desktop. We'll call it Superstation Public Beta Contest. All right, and remember, all I'm going to do is use my call sign. Use all uppercase, K3JSJ, and notice I'm not putting any extra characters. I'm not putting dashes, underscores, any additional information. All we need is your call sign, and that's what's going to be needed to properly process your log. Click the Save button. All right, it says a log was successfully saved, and it gives the location. All right, I'll close this out. Now what I need to do is I need to open a text editor and verify the information in my log, k3jsj.cbr. All right, so here's my log file, and you can see the public beta contest is the name, my call sign is my email address, and it shows that I have 24 roles in the contest and my overall score. Now you'll notice there's 2 portions. The first is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the 6 QSOs that count for the scoring purposes. And then down below, there's this optional x.qso section that has all the QSOs during the contest period. So it has the QSO plus some additional information about the QSO. It's important for this log file that you not modify anything in the log. If you do modify the log, it's not going to be able to be processed by us correctly, and you won't get a score for the contest. So at this point, you need to treat this log file as a read-only element, and you're not to modify it. So now I'm happy with my log file that everything looks in order. I have the date periods, the 11/17 through the 30th. And then I have the Superstation reported 6 QSOs, and I have 6 QSOs here. So that's where when I move to step 3, which is going to be emailing the log. Okay, now I have my email message opened. I'm going to go ahead and direct this email to VARAC Wednesday. So the address is varacwednesday@gmail.com. And I'll attach the log. And here's the attachment. And then I'll go ahead and do send to send the message. So here is the email inbox from our VARA AC Wednesday account. And you'll notice that the email attachment came through. And in your case, I would just recommend you wait several minutes to make sure that the email message went through and you had the address correct and it was properly delivered. Now let's go ahead and proceed to the final step in the process. All right, I'm back with the Superstation app, and you can see my scores are reflecting the contest period that we just completed. So now what I need to do is go under the game menu, and I need to select restart. And once I've selected the restart button, all my images go back to their starting position. I don't know what the equipment image is. And then all the scores have gone back to 0. Another thing I have to do is under the setup menu, I need to change the date back to, I'll put the contest period from the 1st of December through the 31st and click Save Settings. And it's restarting the threads. And you'll notice once I've done that, the distance resets to 0 as well. So now I'm back to my starting position and I'm ready to begin the next contest period. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to contact us. You can go to our website and find a contact form and send us a message and we can get back to you with our answer. Speaking of website, there's the address of the URL as well as the QR code. And be sure to follow us on Facebook at the VARA HF Facebook group and the VARA AC community on Telegram. And finally, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel to get additional videos about VARA AC Wednesday, and other ham radio related videos. Subscribing helps the channel because it helps other ham radio operators find this content, and we definitely appreciate you subscribing. And with that, thank you for tuning in to another VARA AC Wednesday video. This has been Jason, K3GSJ. On behalf of Mark and myself, until we see you again, 73.